phase.
On Third Phase Moon, Blake Cousins, welcome back everybody. We got a special interview for you today. Apolla Asteria has a discussion with Emery Smith in a rare filmed last year in 2019. This is the first time being shared on YouTube, and we're glad to share it right here on Third Phase of Moon. Emery Smith comes forward to reveal his work inside the secret biological facilities deep under the New Mexico desert, where Emery was tasked with dissecting tissues, samples taken from extraterrestrial bodies. If what Emery's telling us is true, the implications are massive. Enjoy this interview by Apolla Asteria.
Hi, Emery. How are you doing today?
Well, how are you? Great.
I'm great.
Having a good time here, of course.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I'm losing my voice, but it's been great.
Yeah, your talk was just really incredible. I've been watching on Gaia for a while, so I'm excited to interview you.
Thank
You've
you.
actually been the person I've been looking forward to interviewing the most this weekend.
Well, you got me.
So my first question, just to break the ice a little here, you say you've seen some alien pets. Can you describe the alien pets you have seen and if they had any use, like maybe like service animal type?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the craft actually have the pets on them when they crash. And there's many different types of forms and shapes and sizes, of course, just like we have, many different types of shapes and forms. But, the ones that stand out to me, of course, are the really cute ones that are kind of small, maybe the size of a cat, and some are hairless. But what's so fascinating is they're iridescent, and as you move them around, they actually change color. And some can actually shapeshift into maybe one or two different things.
And so was it humans who had these alien pets, like that were a part of the program, or were they other aliens that had different types
these are
of
extraterrestrials that have crashed here, or we also take the DNA of these dead animals and we, reanimate them and make them again.
Oh, okay.
So we can clone them with different animals here. So they're not the exact same form of that animal, but, it's pretty close. And like I said, the most fascinating thing is a lot of these animals, too, are very conscious, and a lot of them have telepathy.
Oh, wow. It's incredible. So on a mission, you experienced a blip in time when a temporal bubble formed around you and two other colleagues, and you were transported back to the age of the dinosaurs on Earth for 15 seconds. Mm-hmm. When you were on these missions, did you wear a camera? Who were you working for, and do they have this video image?
Okay, so I'm going to show that tomorrow in my, if you're going to come to my presentation. But that was not a mission. We were building an over-unity device at my lab.
What is a over-unity?
A zero-point energy device harvests the energy from the vacuum of space and time, and it gives you unlimited energy, and it's what all the ships are equipped with. So that way you can go anywhere and have an unlimited amount of energy. And that's what's going to replace gas, coal, and oil here in the next, hopefully, 2 years.
Amazing.
Yeah, and that's going to be brought to the world's attention here. I'm going to be the first person to actually, not only, I've already proven it by 20 scientists and 4 red cameras, but they're going to, it's with a corporation now that's keeping it safe because it's a very dangerous situation.
Wow, thank you so much for doing that for everyone. That's
so
incredible.
I gave this away, and they're going to present it to the world in a safe way. And we're going to include, of course, all the corporations, gas, coal, and oil, to do it the right way, because you don't go up against the big guys, just trust me.
Yeah.
You don't want that. So that bubble, by the way, as we were making this device and we're turning it on, it wasn't a mission, it was just the sphere actually formed around us. Okay? And as we're looking through this, looking at the sphere, of the walls of the sphere, you can actually see a timeline.
Oh, so it's like transparent, so you see through.
It's like you can see through it. It's very blurry, but you also see it's like a giant plasma screen where you're seeing like artifacts and you're seeing civilizations, and then the most incredible thing was I saw dinosaurs.
Wow.
And it was just, it didn't last that long because of the system. We were just doing a test on it, but it made some sort of time continuum bubble, like a time machine or something, where we were able to look out and see the stuff around us. Wherever we looked, we could see different types of, flora and fauna, and different parts of civilizations, even like natives, like different people I've never seen before. So we were actually probably looking into the past and the future is what I think was what we saw.
So it all kind of mixed together, you're saying, like in a fast motion.
Yes.
Wow, that's incredible.
It was like watching a movie trailer actually, but really quick.
So something on the lines of the free energy you were talking about. You say free energy devices are well known now, and some countries have been using them to cut back on their dependence of fossil fuel energy. What is the status on the rest of the world seeing these free energy devices, and how do they basically work? What is the status of a prototype community running off-grid using these energy devices, and how far along is the medical pod technology?
You have to understand, all these technologies are already here, available. It's up to these corporations how they release it. iPhone 20 is already made. It's just they're going to release it on a slow level, to make money. So that's the thing. It's the corporate empire that's actually controlling the technologies. But it's already here.
And they were secret corporations, you said. They're not working for the government.
No, yeah, they're not. The government has nothing to do with it. The government just, protects them because they're just saying, oh, you need this metal building on this base. Yeah, you can rent it out from us.
You mentioned on one guy video that they sort of had a deal worked out where these corporations were allowed to give them some of their research or data to the government in return for the government to allow them to continue where they're at.
So the government will say, can you make a bulletproof vest that can withstand, a certain amount of impact from whatever velocity they want? So the corporation will say, yes, but we need, $7 billion to do it. They already have it, and they'll maybe spend $500,000 or $1 billion and keep the rest and put it into the secret projects to make cooler things. So next year they'll come back like, oh, we have a vest a little bit stronger. Would you give us another $10 billion for that? So it's like it's this crazy thing going on. So the government doesn't have control over it. It's these major corporations and the military-industrial complex that rules the world.
And these secret corporations, do they have anything to do with, like the mega corporations that say are in Antarctica, like they say like Bank of America and Boeing and those sort of corporations have been part of things going on in Antarctica? Are they sort of in cohorts with these kind of organizations, or are they totally secret corporations that we would know nothing about?
I'm not going to name corporations because everyone knows about the 300 major corporations that run the planet. Right. And what these corporations do is they make sub-corporations under sub-corporations under sub-corporations under sub-corporations. So when you see the bread truck going down, the highway there, the Wonder Bread truck, it's not really the Wonder Bread truck. It's just, they're doing so many things and they're layering it like an onion, so you cannot know who's getting the money. You cannot. It's so compartmentalized, especially with the money that's going into these corporations.
Makes sense. So, you say publicly that because of your disclosures, you've lost everything. Can you tell us more about that? I know that's a personal question.
Yeah, I don't do personal questions.
Okay, that's...
All I can tell you is they don't care about me talking about ETs and underground bases. But they have visited me and told me to tone it down on talking about zero-point energy, free energy, and the physics behind that, and also, regenerative medicine, of course, and my patents that I've, took forever to get. They wanted me to tone down on, teaching people about what's actually available, but it's not marketed, but you can get it. So, I've been threatened that way. But the biggest threat, of course, is when my over-unity device was actually proven. That's when it got really bad, and that's when they, I had 3 assassination attempts, as you know, online. So I had to hand over this device to a major corporation that's conscious, that doesn't want money, because everyone came up to me and wanted to write checks, $10 million, $100 million for this device, but they just wanted to put it in their garage next to the Lamborghini and show it off. So it's like, this is not a conscious, this has to be a conscious person, a conscious effort. So I reach out to the investors out there that, will take this, and you can't make money off it, sorry, okay? Now you're on my level. You make the sacrifice, you get it out, you help us do this, and we will help get it safely to gas, coal, and oil and these other places to get it in place. Because even if we have to pay a little bit more or a little bit less, at least we have a cleaner atmosphere and it's cleaning the earth. Because I don't care, I'll pay an extra $1 a month on my electric bill. if they're not using gas coolant oil,
Right.
because we're destroying everything.
That's great. You're getting them into the right hands. This
Yeah.
technology.
Well, we're just here.
No, because we have to go out through this way.
Why can't we stay here? No one's gonna use this door.
We're doing another talk, I think, right here.
Oh, well, we just scoot down here.
Okay, but can I bring the team through then? Because they're gonna go through.
Bring the whole team out here.
Okay.
The whole team should be here. Let's
Just
move
get
down
over.
here. Sorry.
Are you staying then? Because we're all leaving.
Is this okay?
Just stand by. I just got to do this.
I only have two more
here.
questions actually. Okay. Some so-called insiders claim that a majority of the people providing information on ETs and UFOs are disinformation agents.
Absolutely.
But I must say that a majority of the things that I read about seem like they might be absolutely true, and they may fit into the paradigm of the emerging paradigm of our reality. It's difficult to imagine that these so-called live-action role players would take the time to learn so much about a false story to make it seem completely real and believable and consistent with what actual insiders are saying, and for no pay. So my question to you is it possible that these insiders are saying that other insiders are not real, are themselves putting out disinformation in order to get us to doubt everything, and particularly any new insiders coming forward?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. There's a lot of LARPers, they call them, coming forward. Besides David Adair and myself, we're the only documented people with documentation from the military and from our work. And also, we have many letters of recommendations from the colonels and senators that back us up. That show,
Even after you've come forward with
that we
everything.
came forward with, and everyone else kind of just pops out of nowhere and has a story.
Yeah.
So I don't fall into that, and I don't believe any of them, sorry, and some of those were colleagues at one time, because there's a lot going on, as you know, right now with this whole situation. I'm not going to get into
You mean
it.
in the UFO community?
In the
with
UFO community,
Yeah.
and they got disinformed, and some of the researchers and investigators that were, actually interviewing these people got fooled.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's hard to get the real deal. You have to do your own investigation. I always tell everyone, don't believe anything you see, don't believe anything you hear, don't believe anything you read. Don't believe me. Get out there and find out for yourself, because this will never lie. This you can get manipulated by when you use your brain, and you can get caught up into someone's story, and that's what's happened, and it's tragic, because that.
I mean, it almost discredits the whole UFO community when these kind of stories come out. That's what's so horrible.
Absolutely. It's terrible. It really, But the good thing is, the truth always comes out eventually, and these people get busted, and they get exposed, and they won't ever recover. And it just makes credible people that are out there actually trying to do something that do it, like myself. Not putting ego on there, but, I'm a doer. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it, and I did it. And I'm going to back it up with paperwork and a lot of people, about 2 million of them.
Amazing. So, back in early summer of 2018 on Cosmic Disclosure, you mentioned that there are evil reptilians out there waging ongoing wars. But in a recent Cosmic Disclosure with George Norrie, you talk about the nicer reptilians that you worked with and downplayed the existence of the evil reptilians such as the Draco. What's your opinion of the Draco, and do you believe that they have been actively manipulating humankind on this planet through the elite cabal, at least since World War I, and that they recruited the Nazis who are now marauding planets through the galaxy?
Well, I can only talk about reptilians through my experience. Not the history and not all the gossip about, all these accusations, I'll say, or alleged accusations, because I don't know, I wasn't there. I can only tell you that the reptilians that I worked with were nice, and I did not feel threatening. They are very intimidating, but I've never been threatened by an extraterrestrial, ever. The only evil ETs that I know are humans.
So Grant Cameron, I interviewed him. He talked a little on consciousness and our perceptions and how we perceive these. I asked him kind of a question similar along those lines, and yeah, he had the same answer. It's like, you know, maybe if it's an evil person seeing it, then it's evil to them. Do you think maybe?
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing too is like, that's like saying, are all humans evil? You're asking me, and reptilian races, by the way, there's thousands of reptilian races, and not just like one.
Right.
You know, so that's like saying with human races, well, they all evil? You know, are they all? So you can't judge, you know, that. You have to look at it more as a whole. And it helps to also look at it as, you know, we're still all connected because we have reptilian in us, you know. And
reptilian brain.
And reptilians have human DNA. So it's very, for me, it's a very comical conundrum that this is going on. And in the future, I think this will be brought out in a more scientific way when they release the DNA files.
Right. So a radio show last year, you talked about the missing Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 that went missing after it left Kuala Lumpur, sorry, did I pronounce that right? En route to China in March 2014, and that had something to do with the Malaysia Air Flight 17 flying from Amsterdam to Kuala Lumpur that was shot down in July 2014 over Ukraine.
That was the same plane.
Okay. Can you explain what happened to this flight in detail?
I'd rather not get into that because it is pretty classified, and I've been warned to stop that.
Understandable.
That talk. But it was basically one of our places in Kazakhstan or Syria or whatever. One of our military posts, got invaded and taken over by terrorists. Everyone was killed. We had some very special hard drives and computer equipment there that had very sensitive information. The terrorists got it, sold it to China, and put it on this airline to be shipped somewhere. But our intelligence was so good, we took it over that and had to do what we had to do to protect the world.
That was my last question. Thank you for doing this interview with me. I really appreciate it, and I'm glad I can help get the truth out there with you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm Apolla Asteria.
I want to thank Apolla Asteria for sharing this incredible interview with us. We're going to be supplying her original link. Tell her Third Phase of Moon sent you. What's your thoughts on Emery Smith? What are the implications if he is telling us the truth? I want to get your thoughts below, everybody. Keep your eyes on the skies. Be safe out there. Blake Cousins. We'll see you real soon.